Hi, welcome to the North Carroll branch. My name is Miss Amy, and today we're going to make large tissue paper flowers for the spring. So let me tell you what you're going to need. Only a few things this time. We're going to need some tissue paper, some pipe cleaners, some scissors, and a stapler. So when you get ready to do your tissue paper flowers, you might actually want to start with trying some little ones before you do some big ones. And mainly, you want to have 8 pieces of tissue paper when you do your flower. And you want to make sure that they're stacked one on top of each other and they're nice and straight. And you also want to work with a square. So if your tissue paper is not in a square, if you're working with a rectangle, you want to make sure that you cut that end off and you're working with a complete square. So after you've practiced with some little ones, then you're ready to get started on a big one. And there are different ways to cut your flowers so that they look different for different decorations. And down here on the table, I've shown you different ways to cut them on the edges. When you cut them rounded off like this, your flower will look like this. If you want a more frilly appearance, you're going to cut your end in a V shape like this. Then if you cut it like this, it gives it a little different kind of a look. And this one's pretty too. This gives it a frilly look too. That's how you cut the end for that particular flower. So let's go back to our tissue paper. I'm going to move all of this out of the way. We have 8 pieces stacked on top of each other, and we're just going to start accordion folding back and forth. And what you want to do is make sure that your accordion folds are one on top of the other, nice and even. And I've already started this and done some so that you don't have to sit here and watch me accordion fold all day. But I'm just going to finish up the little bit that's left. So you're taking your paper back and forth and making these accordion folds one on top of the other until you get to the end of your paper. You can see my folds are nice and even, one on top of the other. And I'm really pressing those folds so that they're nice and smooth and firm. So we've done all of our tissue paper now. This is what it should look like. And I'm going to use one of my pipe cleaners to create a stem in the middle. So just take one of your pipe cleaners, attach it in the middle nice and tight. If you are not doing a stem on your flower, that is when you would use the stapler, and you would just take it and make some staples right in the middle to hold your flower. All right, here we are. Now we get to make the decision. How do we want our flower to look on the end? Do we want it to look frilly, or do we want it to look nice and rounded? So you want to take your scissors. I think I'm going to do a nice frilly flower, so I'm going to make the pointed cut on the end. There's the one end, and let's do the other end. These flowers are great for Mother's Day coming up, or for presents, or even if you want to decorate your room, to do all different colors of tissue paper. They are fantastic. Now what you're going to do is take one side of your flower and pull it out nice and gently, because remember we're working with tissue paper. You're going to pull up your first fold, and you're going to kind of pull it from the back, not from the front, because it can tear. So you're going to pull, 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 and pull up each layer like you're forming petals. And you want to be gentle, because it won't probably show if you tear the tissue paper, but we do want to be careful. So I'm doing each layer, and remember there were 8 pieces of tissue paper. They do like to stick together. See how nice and full it looks? And once we get that one side done, we're going to turn it around and we're going to unfold the other side. Gently pull up your folds one at a time. And pull towards that center where you put your stem, your pipe cleaner. Oops, now see, I just tore my tissue paper, but it was on the end, so hopefully we won't see that. I'm just trying to do this quickly because we're on film here. One more layer, and there you have a nice full tissue paper flower. Ta-da! Thank you very much for joining me today at the North Carroll Library.